The point I wanted to make is if you provide fun activities, if you run your meetings with humor and efficiency, and you really encourage fellowship among your members, you will be successful. That's the basic bottom line for us. And if you're successful, you just keep moving us closer and closer to our vision, which is to be the best active men's organization in Northern California. In today's session, what we hope to accomplish is for you to understand your role as Big Sur and Little Sur, developing techniques for setting branch goals and action plans, understanding the value and the need for BEC and meeting agenda, understanding the importance of your nominating committee and a succession plan, and then, of course, having a working knowledge of what your auditing committee is looking at. Understanding and embracing RAMP, utilizing the surinc.org website. That's really important. There is so much information there. It will go a long way to helping you be successful. Reviewing your leadership skills and expectations, understanding and using Forms 27 and 28, utilizing the branch schedule of operations and the SIR Leaders Guide, and the importance of attending the annual meeting. Now, I want to start by saying congratulations on your election to Big Sur and Little Sur. As Big Sur, you are the Chief Executive Officer. You are the leader of your branch. If you've been on for the last few days, you already know that you're a sub-corporation of SIR Inc., and it's under the corporate laws of the state of California. And as Little Sur, your role is the assistant CEO, and you work directly under the Big Sur. Now, as Big Sur, you're going to be the one leading your branch and providing direction going forward through the year. And as Little Sur, again, you're there to assist and support your Big Sur in the operations and in the direction of your branch. And you're to be commended for your dedication to SIR and to the branch that you belong to. You have a team behind you. As we move through today, remember that you have assembled a team of dedicated board officers, directors, chairmen that are there to help and support you throughout the year. You have assembled these gentlemen for their talents and commitment to your branch, and they will be there when you ask for assistance. Every position has a duty and a responsibility, but if you're working together as a team, you'll greatly enhance the success of your branch. And remember, you're not alone. You're not alone in this venture. And a sign of a good leader is someone that will ask for and offer assistance when needed. You as Big Sur and you as Little Sur, working together with your BEC and chairman, will be successful. And you have a unique opportunity to make a difference. And so work hard, play hard, have fun, and enjoy your year. Now, the next few slides deal with the primary duties of both the Big Sur and the Little Sur. The left column is always Big Sur, the right column is always Little Sur. I will interchange back and forth, and I will act at times like I'm talking about one person, because you both have similar and almost identical duties. The Little Sur is the support role in those duties that the Big Sur may have. And the Little Sur going through this will have a step up when they step up to Big Sur next year. Now, the Big Sur is responsible, as I've said, for leading your branch and leading all the affairs of your branch. Knowing what the bylaws, policies, and procedures are, looking at the regulations and guidelines, which are all set up to provide consistency between the branches. And this is going to be a big help for you guiding your branch forward. Little Sur, again, those all apply to you, but you're the support role. Now, the Big Sur chairs and facilitates the branch executive committee meetings, the branch lunch meetings, including some special events, and of late, including Zoom meetings when necessary. The Little Sur will conduct one each of the BEC and luncheon meeting during the year to gain insight and experience prior to becoming the Big Sur. The Big Sur, and again, Little Sur, you're going to provide input and assistance, is responsible for developing or preparing meeting agendas for both the BEC and the lunch or special meetings. I can't emphasize how important it is to have agendas and to follow them. You appoint directors, chairman, branch administrative and activity committeemen. Such appointments should consider any input that you might get from your nominating committee. But the practicality, most branches' nominating committee is spending their time finding a Little Sur. But there are some branches that do provide some additional assistance in that regard. And Little Sur, again, you're in the support role. Part of your duties are to develop some reasonable goals, some goals that aren't so far out in the future that you can't accomplish them in your year. Little Sur, you put input into this, but you should include goals for membership and goals for a succession plan as you set up your year. Once you've set up your BEC and your chairman and directors and your committeemen, you should be aware of what they're doing. Oversee the work. You're not hanging over their shoulder, but you want to know what they're doing. You want to communicate with them on a regular basis so that you are working as a team. Following your election as Big Sur, which has already happened, by now, you should have established your auditing committee and nominating committee. Now, if you have not, I suggest that when we get off today, that you start working on that right away. That's one of the things that's important to get things started. Now, the Little Sur will arrange for and ensure that a monthly guest speaker is scheduled and the bio information has been communicated in advance, not only to your BEC, but to your publicity chairman and your newsletter editor. The Little Sur chairs and hosts some of the branch special agendas and events as well. As Little Sur, you're responsible for introducing guest speakers. And normally, a branch will provide some sort of certificate of appreciation or some sort of token of thanks for the speaker. In our particular branch, we do both. We provide a certificate and we provide a coaster or paperweight that has the Sur emblem on it. Now, as Big Sur, you represent the branch at the Sur annual meeting, and that's the meeting of the members of the corporation. You have voting rights, and you will vote on propositions, and you will vote on the voting in the election of corporate state officers. The Big Sur also execute documents and other instruments that are authorized and required by the state. As the Little Sur, it is highly encouraged that you attend the annual meeting with your Big Sur. You do not have voting rights, but you should go if you can possibly go. Both the Big Sur and the Little Sur are members of your area's election committee. One of the things that branches do each year is submit names for candidates for area governor, or you reinforce the re-election, I'll call it, of the area area governor that now serves your branch. And you both vote in that election. When you move on into about this time of the year, you should be promoting the development and training of your branch officers, your directors and chairmen, and be active and be part of your succession plan. Look out to the future. How do you get men lined up to take positions of Little Sur and move on up? RAMP. We hear a lot about RAMP. That's something that we push all the time. Recruiting, activities, member relations, and publicity or image. Most branches that I am familiar with service the RAMP position with multiple positions. In our particular branch, we have activity directors that attend our BEC meetings and report on the activities. Our membership chairman, happens to be me in our branch, is in charge of member relations, not just new members, but continuing relationships with members. We have a publicity chairman who sees to it that all of the announcements we have, not only for our members, but what we have as speakers go out to what we call the pinetree.net, which is an internet news feed. It goes into the local newspapers and it goes into some of the HOA calendars. What we do is we charge every BEC member and every member with recruiting. And part of the duties of the membership chairman is also recruiting, but we charge everybody with recruiting, and it's been pretty successful. Now, both the Little Sur and the Big Sur should be familiar with accessing the surinc.org website and the benefits. There's a vast amount of information there. Should also be able to make yourself familiar with the bylaws. I've mentioned this before: policies, procedures, rules, guidelines, and how they apply to running of your branch. Now, both of you shall abide by and follow the annual SIR schedule of branch operations. And I would say this is probably the most valuable tool that you will find on the website. And it goes month by month for the Big Sur, Little Sur, Secretary, and Treasurer. Everything is there laid out for you. Now, as Big Sur, you should be authorizing a monthly article for your branch newsletter, covering items of interest to branch members. Any special recognition should be done at this in this article. The Little Sur also authors a monthly news article, and he would also cover items of interest, but he would cover who the guest speaker is for the month. And any other coming events, like if you have a December dinner dance, those sorts of things should be in that newsletter. So we move on to Big Sur and Little Sur skills, knowledge, and expectations. I've put together a few bullet points here on things that we feel are successful in the running of your branch. Be able to navigate through the bylaws and procedures that I've just mentioned. Be able to navigate through the website and extract information relevant to your branch. Be able to use common word processing, spreadsheets, email, as well as presentation software, and now Zoom as necessary. Get help or assistance if and when you need it. You are not alone. There could be a lot to learn for some folks. Get assistance when you need it. Develop good leadership skills and lead by example, and preside over your meetings with confidence. Execute your duties, your responsibilities efficiently and effectively. Be prepared. As Big Sur, create the agendas that you need for your BEC and lunch meetings. Follow the agendas. Keep your meetings on track and timely. Nothing's worse than a meeting that drags on. Someone's leaving the break room here. Follow the agendas. Keep your meetings on track and timely. Be a good example by showing your enthusiasm for SIRs. Be a good listener. Encourage new ideas. Listen to suggestions from your BEC, your directors, your chairman, and particularly from your membership. Also be flexible, modifying agendas and meeting topics to accommodate new input and changing interests.
Hello, Jim.
Yes.
Jim, it says at the bottom that all breakout rooms will close in 19 seconds.
Clambered and then fell. While we got a moment, Jim, I have a couple of comments about what you've been presenting, if I may.
Yeah.
One of the things I wanted to remind all the big sirs and little sirs are that you have a lot of help and a lot of support from the state as well as your own people in your own branch. You've got an area governor, you've got a regional director, you've got several state committees that can help you, everything from the Infosys committee to the travel committee to the golf and bowling and other committees that are on this, that are state, that can help you as well. So there's a wealth of support beyond what you have within your own branch. So you as big sir or little sir, really all you need to do is ask, because my experience is everybody is willing to help you.
Dean, I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could the descriptions be given out on what each position does, the governors and the other two positions you talked about? Because I wouldn't know who to go to. What does each do?
The position descriptions are on the state website, sirinc.org, under state, area and region. Drop down, and if you go to the position descriptions are there.
Okay.
Now, the roster will indicate, some of the roster reports will indicate, what region you're in or what area you're in, and who the area governor and regional director is for that area and region.
Okay.
So their contact information will be in the state roster.
Okay, well, I'll just go to that source then to find out. Thank you.
Dean, are the officers for 2022 listed in the state website?
I just had that conversation with Rick Sale about getting out we used to publish a interim next year roster at this time of the year so that you would have that information. We would publish a 2022 preliminary roster, if you will, during late 2021. I think he's going to get one out here real soon, because several of you are new and you're not represented in the current roster, so we're trying to take care of that.
Okay, it looks like at least some of us are back. Can you guys see the slides again?
I have one last thing about.
We're back.
Okay.
About the little sir responsibilities. Sometimes that little sirs find this burdensome to do the speakers and so forth. So some branches have set up a committee to assist in identifying and recruiting speakers to help out the little sir, so it isn't a one-person burden. So you might consider that.
Thank you, Dean.
All right. I think we left off of where we were talking about being flexible. I can't tell you how many times I was leading a lunch meeting, and before we started our official meeting, someone would come up to me and say, could you add this? Could you, oh, by the way, such and such is not going to be here. You won't be able to address the recognition of him. So be flexible. And then the last bullet point on this page is encourage participation in the administration of your branch. Okay, a few more things. Communicate with your membership on a regular basis. What we do in our branch is our big sir sends out info emails on a regular basis that talks about upcoming events, something that might have been a special recognition for a member, and also encouraging members to use our system of reservations for lunch. Be committed to your branch succession plan. This is really important. It's difficult in today's climate, but we try to set up not just looking at next year's little sir. We look out 1 year, 2 years, 3 years if you can, men who are active and show an interest in being a little sir. Conduct your meetings with enthusiasm and humor. This is important. Speak clearly and loud enough to be heard. Be succinct. Avoid long, drawn-out topics. Greet as many members as you possibly can at each lunch meeting. Show that you appreciate their participation and support of the branch. Greet them by name. Shake their hand. And, well, of course, today it might be a fist bump, but if you can, shake their hand and greet them by name. Ask for assistance when you need it. I've said this several times today. That's important. You've got a whole crew of men behind you, not only what Dean was just talking about with state availability, but you've got officers, directors, chairmen, committeemen. They're all there to help you. Another important thing is to communicate with other branches in your area. We're area Region 2, Area 5. I think we have 6 branches. A few years ago, we set up a system where the emails are shared between all of the big SIRs, and you can share information, things that work, things that don't work. And the last point I want to make here, as Big Sur and Little Sur, we look to you guys to convey to every new member, when you welcome them, the 4 member expectations. Be a friendly and sociable guy, participating in activities and attending meetings, volunteering when asked is whatever their interests and capabilities allow, and encourage them to bring guests and perpetuate and enhance the diversity of the branch. Always get asked this question, well, how much time is this going to take? Well, it's like anything else that you do. Whatever you put into it, you're going to get back out. So it's no different for Big Sur. It's no different for Little Sur. But remember, you as the Big Sur are the CEO and the leader, and you as the Little Sur are supporting the efforts of the Big Sur. But if you two guys work together, that'll help lighten the load. And the time commitment, it varies on your enthusiasm, your support team, the efficiencies with meeting preparation, that's really important, and correspondence. There's no right answer. So I've put together a slide on some tools and materials. The state secretary publishes an annual SIR schedule of branch operations. I've mentioned this before. I think it's one of the most valuable tools that you will have. It highlights the requirements for each month for the Big Sur, Little Sur, secretary, and treasurer. It can be found on the website, and it can be found in the SIR Leaders Guide under member information. You both should be familiar with these state requirements. So some of the key items, September of the previous year, we've already talked about that. You should have selected your nominating and audit committees. You should have set up your committee chairman and your ramp and administrative support. If you haven't done so, you've still got time, but get it done and then confirm it in December before you start on January 1. In January, communicate the goals and action plans that you and your Little Sur have talked about, that you and your upcoming BEC have talked about. You need to record those in your BEC minutes. You also need to secure approval on branch activities from your BEC, and it's essential that they are recorded in the BEC minutes. If they're not, the SIR insurance won't cover those activities. February, file the caterer's insurance forms, Form 63 or 64. 63, if you're meeting at a place that provides the food as part of your rental of the place, that's Form 63. Form 64 has to do with when you bring in an outside caterer. March, solicit amendments to the bylaws. Now, there doesn't seem to be a lot of discussion about this from year to year, but anytime that your branch members, your BEC, yourselves, have suggestions to make amendments to the bylaws or some of the rules and regulations, transmit them to your area governor. In May, you should receive from your nominating committee the slate of branch officers. In July, you should be submitting BEC nominations for your area governor. The annual meeting is held in August, and you should attend it as Big Sur, and I'm encouraging all Little Sirs to attend that meeting with their Big Sur. September, now's the time to start promoting training, and that's for your Big Sur-elect, your Little Sur-elect, and your secretary and treasurer. Now, I will make a comment that many branches, the secretary and treasurer carry on year after year for a period of time. The forms that they need to deal with and the forms that are filed with the state change on an ongoing basis. So one of the things I'd like to reinforce is even a secretary and a treasurer that has been around for a while, go to the website to get the most current forms when you're filing forms with the state. It's suggested in November that you install the next year's officers rather than waiting for December, and that's usually when the branches have some sort of dinner, dance, or special lunch. Quick reference, required monthly, due at the end of the month. It used to be that they were due by the 10th of the following month. They are now due by the end of the month. Form 27, your membership report. Form 28, your cash report. Your BEC minutes need to be sent to your area governor and your regional directors. Newsletters and bulletins should go to all branch members, your area Big Sirs that's in your area, and your AG and RD. Quarterly, that's the branch assessment payments that are due. January, April, July, and October, due by the 15th of each month. That's what your secretary, your treasurer takes care of using the Form 28 information. Your branch audit is due in February, and that's Form 29. You should have selected your audit committee before the year starts, and it's based on and includes the previous year's December Form 28. In August, Form 20 is due, and that's your branch personnel report. You may not have all of the positions filled at that time. Submit what you have. And as you move forward and you add to or you change the members on that form, send in just the revisions to Rick Sales. And I've included his email there on the slide. Some additional tools. If you go to the homepage on the sirinc.org website, you'll find headings along the information bar, branch information, regional and area information, state information. There is drop down on any one of those. The important one for you is the branch information, branch locations, and branch contacts. If you want to share information with another branch, you can find that information there. There's job descriptions for branch leadership. There's the leader's guide. You'll find the schedule of operations here. There's leadership training. There's a ramp toolkit, a goals and assessments form, and online learning, and you'll find all of the forms. Same with regional and area information. You'll get the job descriptions for the regional director and area governor and training information for those positions. Now, the state drop down, the state roster is really important because it lays out every position and who it is and their contact information. It gives you the state meeting schedules, the SIR manual that I've referred to earlier, and it's updated now through August 29th of 2021. All of the statewide activities, golf, bowling, bocce, they're all listed there, and a lot of state resources. Again, the forms are listed there. Now, the next 3 or 4 slides, I just put together a sample BEC meeting agenda. It's one that we have found to be really helpful and effective. We list all of the BEC attendees and who might be absent. We list all the visitors that may come to the meeting. We list all the new members and sponsors in our branch. We officially welcome new members, and sponsors are there to help with that at our BEC meetings, and then they are introduced at the lunch meeting. The Big Sur has a section, and this happens to be a January example, Form 63 filing. Over on the right-hand side, it shows reports / discussion / action. You'll see as on the next few slides where that may apply. What it does is it reminds you as the big sir if there's an action item that has to be voted on at the meeting. All of this goes out to your BEC the week before your meetings. The little sir has a section. He's going to talk about the speaker for the day. What's the lunch menu? Who his greeters are. In our branch, we use new members as greeters so that they get a chance to shake the hands of all the guys coming in the door. We acknowledge birthdays, anniversaries. Secretary has a section. Okay, we got 5 minutes, so we'll go on through this. Each of the offices and chairmen have a part on that, and you can tell if it's a report or an action item. This next slide is a sample lunch meeting agenda. I allow more space than you see here. I put it all on one slide. The big sir conducts almost all of this, but he does call on his fellowship director. He calls on his membership director, and we try to add some humor, and then we have lunch and turn it over to the little sir.
Excuse me, Jim, this is Derek again.
Yeah.
Did you just get a warning that you've got 5 minutes?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
We're giving the extra time and sharing it with the other.
We're real close.
Thank you.
I just listed again here the important forms. I don't need to reiterate them all. You can see them, but there are 43 forms on the state website, and they have a world of benefit if you just go in there and look at. There's a lot of assistance, but these 6 are the most important ones. Form 65, which I haven't mentioned before, that takes the place of every branch sending in what I'll call different formatted rosters. The state does have some expectations, and this has to do with the legalities of one branch doing something that might damage something else or some other branch. Accurate and timely submittals. Providing the bulletins and minutes to you, AG, and your regional director. Emphasize and follow the schedule of operations. Fill your committees, and I'm paraphrasing here. Assist in nominating your area governor. Work to follow the policies and procedures. Attend the state meeting. Cooperate with state and branches, and work to increase your membership. Using the manual, it's pretty straightforward. There are 6 divisions. The 2 that really apply to you are Division 3, Section 2, branch membership, and that's policies 18 through 26, and Section 5, branch other, policies 27 through 42. These 2 sections are directly related to the running of your branch. Those are the most important ones. My last little bit here is make a difference. Every big sir, every little sir wants to be successful and make a difference and build their branch. Some tips. Again, be a good listener. So to set a good example, be friendly, energetic, attentive to your members, promote fellowship and interaction amongst your members, run efficient meetings, be timely, entertaining, be enthusiastic, set reasonable and attainable goals, be a good communicator, and keep your members informed of activities and meetings. Again, gentlemen, congratulations on your election to Big Sir and Little Sir. And my last slide is, are there any questions? And Rick, I don't know how much time we have left.
Great job, Jim.
Great job.
Presentation.
I have a question.
Yeah, I have a question also.
Okay.
There was a mention of a traveler committee. What is that? What's a traveler committee?
Travel committee?
Yeah, travel committee.
So if there's a sponsored event, a cruise or something like that, your travel chairman would communicate that to the branch. Might put an article in your newsletter. That's what we have a travel chairman for. If it's a non-sponsored SIR event of interest to our local area, it might be mentioned at a meeting, but it's not an official SIRS event. But we have a travel chairman that covers any information about travel.
Okay, thank you.